Are you desperate to save your marriage and restore the love and passion like it used to be? But does it seem like your efforts to try and save your marriage often end up backfiring, causing arguments or pushing your spouse further away? Trust me, I know what that's like. My wife and I have been there. Thankfully, we came out on the other side, more in love and stronger than ever before, but I'm telling you that so you know there's hope. Hi, my name is Dustin Cannon. My wife is Katie, and she and I are the creators of the Shimley Effect. Now, before we jump into why your efforts to save your marriage might be making it worse, I want to encourage you to please subscribe to this channel. Give us a thumbs up if you find it helpful. And we would also love to hear about your thoughts in the comments section. And by the way, if you hear children being crazy, it's everyone's home, out of school, and we have 4 kids, so. Now, because I've been there, I know that it can be overwhelming to remember how it used to be. You were so in love and happy. And now it doesn't seem like you're even married to the same person. You try everything. You try and talk to them. You apologize for the mistakes you made. You try and convince them how much you love them. You just want them to remember who you were so that they can find the love that they once had for you. And when that doesn't work, you go online, you read everything you can from marriage and relationship coaches, only to find that most of the advice doesn't work, and things seem to be getting worse, not better. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. The truth is, a lot of the advice being given by marriage experts can end up backfiring and making things worse. Think about it this way. The majority of the marriage coaches are giving about the same advice, and yet the divorce rate's still 50% or higher, and so either the statistics are wrong or the advice being given is wrong about how to save your marriage. Now, there are basically 2 categories or ways that people respond typically when their marriage or relationship is falling apart. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the real reason why both strategies fail. And not only that, but they can actually make it worse. Now, we covered these in more detail in our free marriage workshop, but these 2 categories are acts of desperation and band-aid responses. Acts of desperation. Now, when there's a lot at stake in your marriage, and you're deeply invested in your relationship emotionally, intellectually, and financially, when you have children together and a common circle of friends, including family and grandparents, your lives have become intertwined together. And so when it starts to become unraveled, that can create a big mess. There's a lot at stake. And with so much at stake, it's only natural that you get desperate. And when we get desperate, we want to do something to fix it, right? Well, unfortunately, what comes natural isn't always the best way to handle a situation. In our workshop, we compare it to driving on snow and ice. The natural reaction is to get nervous and hit your brakes. Well, unfortunately, that's the wrong thing to do, and it can actually cause you to lose control of your vehicle. Now, those who don't have experience driving on ice, they wouldn't know that. It has to be learned through experience, or it has to be taught. It doesn't really come naturally. You hear the children? Here are some examples of acts of desperation that will not help you save a marriage. Number 1, begging and pleading or trying to convince. Number 2, crying or trying to show them how much this is hurting you and hoping that they'll feel bad and want to change. Manipulation, threats of any kind. Using every opportunity to try and talk about your relationship. Now, those are just a few examples. And if you've tried these types of things, I'm guessing you have, you probably have already learned that they don't work. And even if they might seem to work in some rare cases, it won't last. Now, some of these acts of desperation are even recommended by online marriage coaches. For example, they'll tell you to withhold your love or ignore your spouse and act as if you don't care. That's an example of manipulation. It's manipulation with an ulterior motive, and my friends, that is a dangerous game. Okay, number 2, band-aid responses. Band-aid responses are attempts to save a marriage or a relationship that include things like buying your spouse expensive gifts or having flowers delivered, etc. Taking a romantic vacation or giving them whatever they want to make them happy. The problem is band-aid responses don't work long-term. And what makes them such a dangerous strategy is that they can give the appearance of making things better. They can make it seem like it's working and improving your relationship in the same way that A fresh coat of paint could make a rotting deck look beautiful and new again. The problem is, it would only look that way from a distance. As soon as you start spending time on it and grilling, or the kids start playing on it and jumping around, someone's going to fall through and get hurt. The same thing will eventually happen in your marriage if you have used a temporary fix, a desperate act, or Band-Aid response. And when it wears off, you get back to real life, and the vacation ends and the fancy gifts become common. When you get back to day-to-day life, like jobs and bills and children and so on, it's going to fall apart. The problem with acts of desperation and Band-Aid responses is that they don't fix the real underlying problems. They don't repair the foundation that your relationship was built upon in the beginning. And if you can fix that foundation and restore that first, it will reignite the flame that sparked your love in the beginning, allowing you to rescue, restore, and revive your marriage fast and forever. If you'd like to learn more about how to do this, please consider signing up for our free online marriage workshop. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video. I believe this free workshop will do more to transform your marriage than anything you've probably tried before. And I hope to see you there. Thank you.